national and local level. Now we will start with India as a mega diversity nation. So today we are going to start with India as a mega diversity nation. A mega diversity country is the one that having the majority of the Earth's species and is therefore considered extremely biodiverse. So what is a mega diversity nation, or which country can come under the criteria of a mega diversity country? Is that one that have the majority of earth species, first criteria, and is therefore considered extremely biodiverse. Okay, the country should be very much or extremely biodiverse. Richness and abundance of the large species are due to a wide variety of climatic and altitudinal condition in the country, which make it a mega diverse nation. Uh, Extreme biodiversity or majority of earth species are found in India due to a wide variety of climatic and altitudinal condition in India. Okay, because the climate also varies, and you can see all sort of climate in India, that is winter, summer, monsoon, and altitudinal condition is also very much diverse. That's why the India is considered as one of the mega diverse nation in the world. Almost all biogeographical regions of the world are represented here. In India, with a mere 2.4% of total land area of the world. So India covers almost 2.4% of the total land area of the world, whereas it contributes 8.22% of the total global diversity. So you can see here, India covers only 2.4% of the land area in the world, but it has 8.22% of the global biodiversity. In terms of biodiversity, how rich India is, because as compared to land, it has 4 times more biodiversity comparing to the land. India is one of the 12th mega diversity nation of the world, accounting for 7.31% of the global fauna and 10.88% of the total global floral species. So while ranking in terms of mega diversity nation, India comes in 12th position in the world. So worldwidely, comes 12th. India is one of the 12th mega diversity nation of the world, and it has around 7.31% of global fauna. Okay, means animals are around 7.31% and 10.88% of the total global floral species. And in out of 100%, 10%, 10 to 10.88% total floral population is found in India. It has 14 major basins through which drains numerous rivers. So it is also an origin of various numerous rivers also. Okay, the annual rainfall varies from less than 37 centimeter in Rajasthan to 1500 meter in Cherrapunji. So if in Rajasthan you will see there is only 37 centimeter rainfall occurs in Rajasthan, whereas in Cherrapunji, which is situated in Meghalaya, around 1500 meter of rainfall occurs, and Cherrapunji one of the is the highest rainfall area of the world. Is the area where the highest rainfall occurs, okay, in the world. So you can see the biodiversity in 37 centimeter in Rajasthan and 1500 meter in Cherrapunji. This is the biodiversity of India. The country experiences three different seasons, that is winter, summer, and monsoon. And you can find all sort of seasons, all sort of major seasons in India, that is summer, winter, and monsoon as well as. It has two global terrestrial biodiversity hotspot. The first is northeastern states and the Western Ghat. So in India, we can see two hotspot of biodiversity or two global terrestrial biodiversity hotspot. The first one is northeastern states, that's the seventh state, and second is the Western Ghat. The Western Ghat have moist deciduous forest and rainy forest as well as. So Western Ghat contains both deciduous forest and rainy forest. So what is deciduous forest? A deciduous forest is a forest which shedded leaf. Okay, and a rainy forest is considered as or is termed as an evergreen forest. So you can find out both type of forest in Western Ghat. India is rich in biodiversity from north to south and from east to west. Okay, you can see the biodiversity from north to south and from east to west. The region shows high species diversity as well as high level of endemism. Okay, around 62% of the reptiles and 77% of the amphibians are found here. And if you see, you will find out a high species biodiversity. It means different species. Like species means human being is a species, cow is a species, and monkey is a species, is another species. So you will see high diversity in species as well as high level of endemism. Endemism means uh, or endemic or endemism means regular found only in a particular area. Those species which found basically on a particular area is called as endemism. So we see that although there is a high species biodiversity, but along with high species biodiversity in India, there is high level of endemism also. Means the species which are found in India are found only in India. You will not found the species or those species major few of the species or a number of species outside India, okay, or other than India. The northeastern state depicts high altitudinal variation. In northeast state, you will see a high altitude variation. Okay. In northeast, we will see a high altitudinal variation. In terms of altitude, you will see a lot of variation. Forest which embraces a sizable portion of biodiversity, now comprise about 62 meter hectares or about 19% of the land area of the country. If you will see, in terms of forest, if you will see, we will see it comprises about, the forest only comprises about 64 meter hectares or about 19% of the land area of the country. Okay, so forest itself cover this much area, 19% of the land area of the country. Along with it, 64 meter hectares of forest. If we count or if we measure the land for the forest in of northeast region, we will see 64 meter hectare is there, and it contains around 19% of the land's area of the country. Okay, the forest region. Indian flora comprises about 15,000 flowering species. So if you will see the flora of the India or Indian flora, you will find out there are about 1500 flowering plant species, a variation of 1500, sorry, 15,000, not 1500. It is 15,000 flowering plant species you can easily find out. And India has 10 biogeographical region. which we already have studies like Himalayas, Trans-Himalayas, Gangetic Plain, Western Ghat, right? Northeast, then Iceland, Andaman and Nicobar, Lakshadweep, etc., etc. So India has 10 biogeographical regions. India is one of the 12th mega diversity nation of the world, okay? And India has two hotspots that extends into the India. So India comprises of two hotspots. India is one of the 12 centers of the origin of cultivated plant. India has 26 recognized endemic centers that are home to nearly 1/3 of the flowering plants. So India has 26 endemic centers. Endemic center, again I'm repeating, the species which are found on a particular area you will found those species on that particular area only. Okay, you cannot find species on another area, is termed as endemic. Like if you will see a variety of a type of rose flower, say wild rose, okay? I'm just giving an example. It's an assumption based example. So say in a area or in a hilly area, you will find, okay, let's see, let's take an example which is realistic. So if you see in northeast area, that too in high altitudinal area, means the areas which where the altitude is very high, okay, the area which are situated in a very high altitude region. So there you will find, there we find yak. I hope you have heard about this animal, yak. It is a kind of cow only, but this yak is usually found in high altitude region where there is extreme cold and the oxygen level is also low in the atmosphere. So these yak survive those areas, the high altitude area which is very cold and has very low oxygen level due to higher altitude. So yak are only found in high altitude region. So yak are the endemic species of northeast high altitude region. Okay, I hope now it's clear to you all that what is endemic. India has 6 wetland. India has 5 World Heritage Sites. The country has many alternative medicine like Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, and homeopathic system that are mainly prepared from plant-based raw materials. So if you go into the history of Indian medicine, you will find out Ayurveda, you will find their Ayurveda, you will see Unani, you will see Siddha, you will find out homeopathic, right? And all these systems, either it may be Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, or homeopathic, they all are mainly prepared from plant-based raw material. The material which is prepared in all these systems are plant-based. The material or the chemical is derived from the plant. Okay, so this is why, because the biodiversity of fauna is also very wide in India. You can see around 7.31% of the global fauna, right? 7.3% of the global fauna is comprises in India only. It has great marine diversity due to its 7,500 kilometer long coastline. You will find wide variety of marine diversity also, because it has a very long coastal line. Both in Western and Eastern Ghat, you will find out the coastal line, and it covers almost 7,500 kilometers. So you can imagine how long these coastal areas are, coastal lines are, right? Tribal people who officially constitute 7.5% of India's total population. So if you see tribal people, okay, or yeah, tribal people constitute about 7.5% of the total India's population. Out of India's population, 7.5% of the population is only and only of tribal people. Okay, among the protected area, there are 88 national parks and 490 sanctuaries in India, covering an area of 1.53 lakh square kilometer. So India has a number of protective areas where the wildlife, which includes flora, fauna, both are preserved. So there in India, we will find around 88 national parks and 490 sanctuaries or wildlife sanctuaries, you can say. Okay. And these 88 national parks and 490 wildlife sanctuaries covers 1.53 lakh square kilometer area of India. Okay. Now we will move to, this is all about the India as a mega diversity nation. So here, India as a mega diversity nation topic completes. Now we will start hotspot of biodiversity. So as we have already studied that India has two hotspots. Okay, a biological hotspot. So now first we should know, before starting hotspot or before studying hotspot, we should know what is hotspot. A biological hotspot is a biogeographical region that is both a significant reservoir of diversity and is threatened with destruction. So you can define hotspot of biodiversity or biological hotspot is a region or is a biogeographical region that comprises of both, that is a significant reservoir of diversity and is threatened with destruction. Means, in simple terms, where you will find a number of and a wide variety of biodiversity, either in terms of plants or animals, but those areas along with biodiversity, they are threatened with destruction. They are threatened to destruction. Okay, मतलब जहाँ पे कि हमको बहुत number of बायोडाइवर्सिटी मिलती है, मतलब स्पीसीज डाइवर्सिटी मिल तो रही है, आइदर फ्लोरा हो या फना हो, पेड़ पौधे हो या फिर एनिमल्स हो, बट एक कंडीशन अप्लाई हो जाता है कि दे आर थ्रेटेंड विद डिस्ट्रक्शन, मतलब डर है कि ये खत्म ना हो जाए, ठीक है, या खत्म हो रहे तो खत्म होने का डर है उनका, एक्सटिंक्ट होने का डर है उनका, तो ऐसे एरिया को हॉटस्पॉट ऑफ बायोडाइवर्सिटी दिया जाता है, क्लेम कर दिया जाता है. ओके, the idea was developed by Norman Mears in 1988 to identify tropical forest hotspot. So this idea of hotspot of biodiversity was first discovered by or first developed by Norman Mears in 1988. Okay, आज से around 32 years back, this idea was discovered of hotspot of biodiversity. And basically, Norman has discovered this hotspot of biodiversity to identify tropical forest hotspot. Okay, to find out the tropical forest hotspot, he has come up with this idea. or he has developed this idea. Okay, the term biodiversity hotspot especially refers to 25 biologically rich areas around the world that have lost around at least 70% of their original habitats. So this term biodiversity hotspot is referred for 25 biologically rich areas. Okay, तो ये जो biodiversity जो term है ये use होता है 25 biologically rich area around the world. ठीक है, पूरे वर्ल्ड में 25 ऐसे एरिया हैं जो कि बायोलॉजिकली बहुत रिच हैं और इनके पास इन जो ये 25 biological rich area है they comprises of at least 70% of their original habitat. Okay, and they have lost around at least 70% of their original habitat. And all these biodiversity or hotspot biodiversity area, these 25 has lost around 75% of their original habitat. Means 75% यहाँ पे जो original habitats थे वो सारे lost हो चुके हैं. They are extinct. सो दैट्स वाई जहाँ एक ऐसा एरिया जहाँ पे कि बायोडाइवर्सिटी बहुत ज्यादा है बट उनके खत्म होने के भी चांसेस बहुत ज्यादा है या फिर उनके खत्म होने के या एक्सटिंक्ट होने के रिस्क भी बहुत ज्यादा है तो उसको हम लोग बायोडाइवर्सिटी हॉटस्पॉट ऑफ बायोडाइवर्सिटी वो कर देते हैं कंसिडर कर देते हैं. ठीक है, गवर्नमेंट उसको ये क्राइटेरिया को देखते हुए कि बहुत सारा वेरिएशन ऑफ स्पीसीज है पर वो धीरे धीरे खत्म हो रहे हैं फिर इनके खत्म होने के चांसेस हैं. अगर ऐसा देखेंगे गवर्नमेंट, if this comes in front of government's eyes, then the government consider that area as hotspot of biodiversity. Okay, and at least 70% of the original habitats should be lost. ठीक है, इतना 70% लॉस्ट हो गया होना चाहिए वहां पे. जो पहले जितने स्पीसीज है उसमें से 70% तो लॉस हो चुके हैं, बाकी जो बचे हुए वो 30% है. तो वो एरिया को हम हॉटस्पॉट ऑफ बायोडाइवर्सिटी वो कर सकते, कंसिडर कर सकते. तो इंडिया में ऐसे दो जगह हैं. ओके, ऐसे दो ऑल ओवर वर्ल्ड देयर इज 25 biological rich areas or 25 hotspot, but in India it has there is 2 out of this 25. 2 is in India. Okay, the first one is already we have seen Western Ghat and the another is northeast states. So basically biodiversity hotspots is a method. Okay, so what biodiversity hotspot does, क्या करता है ये जो बायोडाइवर्सिटी का जो हॉटस्पॉट हम बना देते हैं है ना, जैसे हमको लगता है कि ये एरिया रिस्क में है, यहाँ पे बहुत सारा वेरिएशन ऑफ स्पीसीज है बट ये एरिया रिस्क में भी है तो हम उसको हॉटस्पॉट तो कंसिडर कर देते हैं. तो बट इसका क्या वाई इसको ऐसा कंसिडर किया जाता है, वाई इट इज कंसिडर्ड एज हॉटस्पॉट. So biodiversity hotspots are a method to identify those regions of the world where attention is needed to be addressed or address biodiversity loss and to guide investments in conservation. Okay, तो ताकि हम क्यों किसी भी एरिया को हॉटस्पॉट या बायोडाइवर्सिटी हॉटस्पॉट कंसिडर करते हैं, so that कि उस रीजन को उसको जितना अटेंशन की जरूरत है ओके उसको वो अटेंशन मिले प्रॉपर और जो इन्वेस्टमेंट्स हैं वो हो सके उसको प्रिजर्व करने के लिए या उसको कंजर्व करने के लिए. ठीक है, बचा के रखने के लिए